and welcome to another redgamingtech.com rant of the week. This particular rant was brought to you by a recent rather dumb set of comments from Ubisoft, who I can usually trust to not come out with dumb comments, but here we have it. Piracy is something that I've kind of been wanting to do for a while, but I wasn't really sure if I should, because it seems like an overdone topic. Obviously, piracy, blah blah blah, it's a whole thing that everyone's talked about to death, but this recent comment from Ubisoft has just made me want to do this now, because it's... Basically what they've claimed is that PC piracy rate is above 90%. And I'm just like, what? Did you just pull that figure out of your arse, or what? Did you pull out the figure that suits you so you can keep pulling out your DRM? As much as I like Ubisoft, they are kind of known for having some dumb DRM, like usually always online, that it will kick you off if your internet has the audacity to go down for even a second, which basically what happens to most people if you're not living in, say, Sweden or somewhere awesome like that has like the best internet ever. For most of us, internet happens to go down from time to time, or maybe you just be slow because your sister is downloading the new chick flick or whatever. So, to be honest, this comment has kind of angered me, and it just seems like an excuse, to be honest, because piracy, at the heart of the matter, is a service problem. I'm not the only person to have said this, and I certainly will not be the last. I'm not saying it's some new and revolutionary idea, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't express it, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't express it if you agree with me. Let's think about it. Why do people pirate games? Well, because it's free, obviously. But let's look at it. I'd say most people pirate because of a reason. I'm not saying that justifies piracy. I'm not saying piracy is right, don't get me wrong. But what I am saying is that, let's think about it this way. Free is already pretty hard to beat, yeah? You can't, free versus, I don't know, 40 bucks. Pretty hard to beat free. Okay, so why make it harder for yourself by punishing those who buy your game? Because that's what you end up doing when you put stupid DRM into your game, because the pirate isn't going to get that DRM. No, they're going to get it with that DRM ripped out. So who's getting punished? The legitimate consumer who's just shelled 40 bucks or whatever for your game. So they're going to have to deal with the DRM, they're going to have to deal with being on the time, they're going to have to deal with X, Y and Z DRM. There's various methods, none of which have really stopped any of the pirate groups, let's be honest. At the very most, you'll hold them off for a week, maybe two. But at the end of the day, if you've got hard DRM, they just see it as a challenge. It's like, oh, you got some really nice DRM here. Be a shame if something was to happen to it. So just comments like this just anger me, and piracy is just batted around as this excuse to keep doing stupid, dumb stuff like this, putting DRM and going, oh, we can't bring a game out for PC because you pirate it, no, and it's like, shut up, stop using it as a ballsy excuse just because you're fucking lazy, come on. Don't give me that bollocks. If you don't piss off your customers, then they won't pirate your game. Some people will, because that's just what some people are like. Some people will always pirate no matter what you do, because they just want to play something for free and not have to pay anything. But some people, if they say, oh, they actually listen to the consumers, or oh, they've not put stupid DRM, or oh, they've not got X, or oh, they're not charging a ridiculous amount for 10 hours, then they'll be less likely to pirate your game. I mean, let's think about it. Let's say, for example, that a game comes out in America, right, and then 1 week later it comes out in the UK. This happens fairly often. The UK and Australia and other places like that have to wait. Do you really think that people are going to wait that 1 week? And sometimes it's more than a week. A week is actually being rather generous. Sometimes it's more like a month that we have to wait. And it depends on where you live as well. Like, certain places are a lot worse. I mean, I don't really complain too much, because a lot of other countries have to wait ridiculous amounts of time before they see it in their region. And do you really think they're going to wait all that time when there's, a copy of it on X torrent site? Well, no. So why are you making it easier for people to pirate? I mean, don't give them an excuse, because that's what people love. They love to be able to say, oh, I'm pirating it because they couldn't be bothered to bring it out of my country, or I'm pirating it because of X reason. It just angers me so much when I see comments like this. I mean, usually it doesn't bother me too much, but it's just times like this is just like, really? Really? This again? You're gonna blame piracy for X, Y, and Z? It's like the fucking scapegoat at the moment, and it's really pissing me off. I'm not saying that piracy isn't a problem. Of course it is. It's undoubtedly a very big problem that needs to be addressed. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, but putting stupid DRM and making up stupid statistics like 90% fucking piracy is not the way to beat it. The way to beat it is to give your customer a good service where you don't piss them off and give them a reason to pirate. Some people are always going to pirate, as I said, because some people are just dicks, but most people are reasonable and will pay the money for your game if they don't feel ripped off by doing so. I mean, if you deliver a good service and all that good stuff, if they really enjoy your game, why would they not buy it and show their support? But if you've pissed them off in X, Y, or Z way, then you're just giving them an excuse, which is not what you want to do. And saying stupid, dumb stuff like this is one way to do that. Because, to be honest, Ubisoft, they are one of my favourite developers, but they're losing points with me lately, because not only because of stuff like this, but because of this whole Assassin's Creed debacle where they're putting hours worth of content on PS3 only, and this whole thing where there are tons of trailers is basically just the Redcoat Massacre Extreme Edition. So, you know, it's a real shame to see one of my favourite developers just going so downhill like this. It really, really is. And basically, what else they said is that, you know, they're thinking of going to free-to-play, blah-de-blah-de-blah, because, yeah, only a 3 to 5% of customers will pay for in-game content, but they think they'll be slightly higher on PC, between 5 and 7%. And then he went on to say that that is the same percentage of people who actually pay legitimately for PC games. And he's saying a 93 to 95% piracy rate, so it's the same percentage as free-to-play. And I'm just like, well, where are you getting these figures from, Ubisoft? I'd love to know, because it's not like you can do a survey or whatever, you know? It's like, how do you know 90% people? That seems awfully high to me. I highly doubt 90%. The number is going to be high, don't get me wrong, but is it going to be 90%? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. At the most, I'm going to guess, I don't know, 40%. And if your game has particularly pissed people off, like to just make them want to pirate the hell out of it, then maybe 60%. 70% max. 90 though? Please, get out. Developers need to admit that solving piracy is on their end. It is a service problem. If their service was inadequate and didn't piss people off, piracy would not be such a problem. Making people wait longer for the PC port? Fine. That's fair enough. You want to upgrade your textures? Great. Fantastic. Good to hear it. That's exactly what you should be doing. But don't do stupid shit like put aggressive DRM or make X country wait a month, because they're not going to wait a month, and that's a bunch of sales you just lost out on for no particular reason, to be honest. I mean, localization doesn't really make much sense anymore in the digital age. So, to be honest, I just think that developers need to stop crying and stop using piracy as an excuse to not bring games to PC, because yeah, it's a problem, but it's also a problem on consoles as well, which is something that never seems to be said by anyone. Consoles can be cracked. You can hack your PS3 or whatever so it plays copied games, but this never seems to get brought up. No one ever cries piracy at the consoles, or at least not half as often. It just seems to get levelled at the PC gamers, to be honest, and it angers me, because even though I've not been a PC gamer for all that long, piracy has always been a problem, and it's always been something that's annoyed me just because of the attitude that surrounds it. Now, I'm not condoning piracy, as I've already said many times within this rant, and if you think that I'm condoning piracy, then you don't fucking listen. I'm not condoning it. I don't believe in piracy. I don't think people should do it. You know, if you enjoy a game, then pay for it, is what I think. But all I'm saying is, developers need to acknowledge that part of the fault is on their end and stop just going, oh, it's piracy, we can't bring it to PC. It's like, oh, shut up, seriously. Oh, anyway, I feel a little bit better now that I got that out of my system. Oh, okay. But in all seriousness, this is something that just needs to be said. And if you agree with me, then please say so. If you don't agree with me, say so. I want to hear your opinions. You know my opinion. You've heard it for the last, I don't know, like 8 minutes. So please leave a comment. And as always, check out our channel. We have all sorts of content uploaded every day, as well as on our website at redgamingtech.com and our Facebook and all that shaz. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the Rant of the Week. My name has been Amata, and I hope to see you again soon.